Have you ever stopped to ponder the true essence of your inner worth? In a world filled with challenges and uncertainties, the way we perceive and confront situations can have a profound impact on our self-esteem and self-confidence. Today, I invite you to explore with us the profound insights of Seneca, the renowned Stoic philosopher, and discover how his teachings can be a powerful guide in the journey of building our own worth. Seneca reminds us that true wealth lies not in material possessions, but rather in virtue and self-knowledge. By understanding who we truly are and what our deepest values are, we can strengthen our inner essence and become more resilient in the face of life's adversities. During this video, we will delve deeply into 5 fundamental teachings of Seneca, which will lead us on the path of self-appreciation and personal growth. Are you ready to learn how to cultivate and strengthen your own inner worth, transforming your life from the inside out? If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest news. And be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. So, without further ado, let's begin this journey towards self-awareness and the construction of our own worth inspired by Seneca's timeless teachings. Imagine yourself in a tranquil garden, a place of serenity where trees whisper their secrets to the wind and flowers bloom in vibrant colors under the rays of the sun. This garden is a metaphor for the human mind, a vast and rich inner space that we often explore too little. It is here, in this garden of the mind, that Seneca invites us to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Self-knowledge is more than just knowing our name or what we like to eat for breakfast. It is delving into the depths of our own soul, probing the murky waters of our desires, fears, and hopes. It is like looking into a mirror, not only to see our physical appearance, but also to understand the complexity of our inner being. In Stoic teachings, self-knowledge is the first step towards wisdom. It is the foundation upon which we build our inner strength. When we truly know ourselves, we can understand our strengths and weaknesses, our passions and aversions. This understanding enables us to act with greater awareness and purpose in all areas of our lives. But how can we cultivate this self-knowledge? Seneca advises us to practice introspection regularly. Just as a gardener tends to their plants, we must dedicate time and attention to cultivating our own minds. We can do this through meditation, deep reflection, and honest self-assessment. Meditation allows us to quiet the mind and observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. It is like sitting by the edge of a calm lake and watching the still waters reflect the sky above. In the stillness of meditation, we can access deeper layers of our consciousness, uncovering truths that may be hidden amidst the daily noise of our lives. Deep reflection invites us to question our beliefs and assumptions, to challenge our own narratives about who we are and what we value. It is like walking through a labyrinth of ideas, seeking to find the thread of Ariadne that will guide us out of the maze of self-deception. By cultivating self-knowledge, we not only build our own worth, but also become more compassionate and understanding towards others. For when we understand our own struggles and journeys, we can look upon others with empathy and kindness, recognizing that we are all navigating the turbulent waters of life together. Virtue, that fundamental pillar of Stoic thought that Seneca so much taught us to value. Imagine virtue as the mortar that binds the bricks of our inner construction, providing stability and integrity to the edifice of our life. But how exactly can virtue help us build our personal worth? Firstly, we must understand that, for the Stoics, virtue is not just a quality to be admired, but rather a way of life to be lived. It manifests in our everyday actions, in how we interact with the world around us, and in how we relate to ourselves. Virtue, therefore, is not just an abstract concept, but something tangible and accessible to all of us. One of the most fascinating aspects of virtue is its universal and timeless nature. It transcends cultures, epochs and circumstances, remaining as a guiding beacon amidst life's storms. By cultivating virtues such as courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom, we build a solid foundation for our personal worth, for these qualities are inherently valuable regardless of external circumstances. Furthermore, the practice of virtue helps us cultivate a deep inner harmony. When we act in accordance with our ethical and moral principles, we experience a sense of peace and contentment that cannot be shaken by external events. This doesn't mean that we will be free from challenges or adversities, but rather that we will be able to face them with serenity and courage. Another important aspect of virtue is its ability to inspire and influence others around us. When we live according to our higher values, we become living examples for those around us, encouraging them to follow the same path of self-discovery and personal growth. Thus, our pursuit of virtue not only benefits ourselves, but also creates a positive impact on the world around us. Finally, Seneca reminds us that virtue is a continuous process of refinement and self-transformation. It is not about achieving a state of absolute perfection, but rather about committing ourselves daily to the cultivation of our best qualities. It is through this constant commitment that we build our personal worth and leave a lasting legacy for future generations. Therefore, as we reflect on Seneca's teaching about virtue, we are reminded of the importance of living with integrity, courage, and wisdom in all aspects of our lives. May we embrace this challenge with enthusiasm and determination, for it is through the practice of virtue that we build a fairer, more compassionate. Resilience, for Seneca, is like the ability of a tree to stand firm during a storm. It is the ability to face life's adversities with courage and serenity, rather than being knocked down by them. Seneca reminds us that life's inevitable difficulties should not defeat us, but rather strengthen us. In his teaching, Seneca emphasizes the importance of accepting reality. We must embrace life's circumstances, whether favorable or unfavorable, with a calm and serene mind. Instead of resisting or lamenting what we cannot change, we should focus on what is within our control. This attitude empowers us to find creative solutions to problems and to adapt to life's inevitable changes. Furthermore, Seneca highlights the importance of self-awareness and self-knowledge. Knowing our own weaknesses and limitations allows us to face challenges with humility and courage. By acknowledging our mistakes and learning from them, we strengthen our resilience and grow as individuals. The practice of virtue is another essential aspect of Stoic resilience. For the Stoics, the true measure of a person's worth lies in their ability to live according to the principles of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, regardless of external circumstances. By cultivating these virtues in our daily lives, we build a solid foundation of resilience and integrity. In summary, Seneca's teaching on resilience invites us to face life's adversities with courage, calmness, and wisdom. By cultivating a calm and serene mind, accepting reality as it is, practicing virtue, and maintaining a broad and universal perspective, we can build lasting value that will sustain us through life's storms. The teaching of material detachment within the concept of building our worth is a fundamental part of Stoic philosophy, of which Seneca was an adherent. For Seneca, material detachment does not necessarily mean renouncing all possessions, but rather cultivating a healthy and balanced relationship with them. Material detachment teaches us that our worth as individuals is not intrinsically tied to the quantity of material possessions we own. Instead, our true value lies in our ability to cultivate virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, regardless of external circumstances. By practicing material detachment, we learn not to overly rely on material possessions for our happiness and well-being. Instead, we value experiences, relationships, and principles that truly enrich our lives more. Moreover, material detachment frees us from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction that often accompanies the pursuit of more wealth and possessions. By recognizing that true happiness cannot be found in material things, we can direct our energy and attention to what truly matters in our lives. Material detachment also helps us face life's adversities with more equanimity. When we are not overly attached to material things, we are better able to deal with loss and change with serenity and acceptance. In summary, the teaching of material detachment invites us to rethink our relationship with material possessions and to recognize that our true value lies in who we are and how we live our lives rather than what we own. By cultivating a healthy detachment from material things, we can build a more lasting and meaningful value in our lives. Within Stoic philosophy, self-sufficiency is a fundamental principle that teaches us to find our source of value and happiness within ourselves, rather than overly relying on external circumstances or other people. Seneca, as one of the leading proponents of Stoicism, emphasized the importance of this concept for building lasting and meaningful value. Self-sufficiency reminds us that our true wealth is not in the quantity of material possessions we own or in others' opinions of us, but rather in our ability to cultivate internal virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By developing these virtues, we become less dependent on external circumstances for our happiness and satisfaction. By practicing self-sufficiency, we learn to find contentment and fulfillment within ourselves, regardless of external conditions. This does not mean that we should isolate ourselves from the world or completely reject external connections and resources, but rather that we should not base our happiness and self-esteem solely on them. Self-sufficiency makes us more resilient in the face of life's adversities, as it enables us to find inner strength and resources to face the challenges that arise in our path. Instead of becoming discouraged or defeated by difficulties, we learn to trust in our own ability to overcome and grow. Furthermore, self-sufficiency frees us from the cycle of incessant seeking for external approval and validation. When we learn to trust in our own abilities and values, we become less dependent on others' opinions for our self-esteem and self-confidence. This allows us to live according to our own principles and aspirations, rather than conforming to others' expectations. Practicing self-sufficiency also helps us cultivate healthier and more meaningful relationships, as we do not place the burden of our happiness and satisfaction in others' hands. Instead, we value relationships based on mutual exchange of support, respect, and understanding, rather than unmet expectations or needs. In summary, the teaching of self-sufficiency invites us to find our source of value and happiness within ourselves, rather than constantly seeking outside of ourselves. By cultivating this ability to trust in our own abilities, values, and internal resources, we build a more solid, lasting, and meaningful value in our lives. At the end of this dive into Seneca's teachings on building our inner worth, I invite you to reflect deeply on the true essence of this process. In a world full of distractions and external influences, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters: the development of our inner essence. Seneca reminds us that our worth does not lie in the material possessions we accumulate, the opinions others have of us, or the external circumstances we face. It resides in our ability to cultivate virtues, to know ourselves, to be resilient in the face of adversity, to detach from materialism, and to find inner self-sufficiency. These teachings are not merely abstract concepts, but practical guides for a fuller and more meaningful life. I invite you to apply them in your personal journey, to explore the depths of your own soul, and to build an inner worth that is truly unshakable. Remember that building our personal worth is a continuous journey full of challenges and discoveries. But it is also an incredibly rewarding journey that leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. So, move forward with courage, wisdom, and determination. May Seneca's teachings be a constant source of inspiration and guidance in your quest to build your own inner worth.